Some wounds scar over before they're really healed. Maybe you've felt like a chapter you thought was closed is still aching a little beneath the surface. Imagine an old wound. Skin has healed, but underneath something festers. To truly heal it, you have to reopen it, clean it out, and let it heal fresh. That process is messy and it's painful, but it's the only way through. Even when life feels good, joyful, and full, we still find ourselves aching. Why? Because healing doesn't follow a calendar. And sometimes healing needs to happen after the worst of it is over. I'm Andrew Harwood, MS LLPC. I'm a trauma therapist and a druid based in Michigan. And welcome to Grove here at the Transformation Trail. I'm your trail guide, walking you through healing, reflection, and connection. Here we explore healing at the root, spiritually, mentally, and culturally. This isn't just content, it's a space for your story to unfold. Purpose of pain differs across cultures. Pain shows up in every tradition, but with a purpose. In Buddhism, pain is an ember that burns through the illusion. It wakes us up and calls us to compassion. In Christianity, pain is a cross meant to be carried, but not alone. It's redemption through witness, not erasure. In indigenous cultures, see pain as a signal that the ecosystem is out of balance. Healers listen, not to silence the pain, but to understand what must be restored. And then Jungian psychology sees pain as the voice of the shadow. It reveals where our psyche has fractured and points us towards wholeness. But what connects these stories? Pain isn't punishment or failure. Pain is communication. It's a language, sometimes harsh, sometimes gentle, that tells us something needs attention, healing, or transformation. Across cultures, pain calls us to listen deeply to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. Religious trauma, myth, and brain development are interconnected. Religion, myths, and spiritual language shape more than our beliefs, they shape our brains. When we grow up in environments where spiritual messages are tied to fear or shame or control, our nervous systems can become wired to expect threat. We live in a state of chronic alert, unable to fully relax, even in moments of safety. Myths and religious stories become lenses through which we interpret the world, our worth, our bodies, and our relationships. For example, if a myth says you are inherently flawed or sinful, and you're raised with that knowledge as basic truth, your brain may internalize that. And it affects your self esteem, your decision making, your capacity to trust, including trusting yourself. If spiritual language is used to silence your doubts or feelings, you might lose access to your own voice. These patterns can contribute to trauma responses, anxiety, and difficulty setting boundaries. Healing means learning to recognize those messages and gently rewiring your brain to hold new stories and new truths. Ask yourself, what stories were you told about yourself growing up? And how did your spiritual environment shape your sense of safety or fear? What what parts of those stories still influence your worldview and which are ready to be released? How can you reclaim your spiritual language in a way that supports your healing? There are many versions of the Metta prayer from Buddhism. One begins with offering love to yourself, then someone you love, and then someone you struggle with. As an example, let's try it together. Take a deep breath in first and repeat either quietly or silently, may I be safe. May I be free. May I be at peace. Now think of someone you love. May they be safe. May they be free. May they be at peace. And now think of someone you struggle with. May they be safe. May they be free. May they be at peace. And let your breath settle. Our therapy-based version of this is what I call radical equality. Holding space is more than just being present. It's an act of radical equality, recognizing that every person's experience, pain, and journey matter equally. And as a therapist, I practice unconditional positive regard. I hold your story without judgment. But as a druid, holding space means something deeper to me. It means honoring the sacredness of every spirit, not just mine, not just yours, even Joe McGee down the street watching golf on the TV. Holding space isn't about fixing, it's about standing beside others with respect and humility, and it requires us to step back from the urge to change someone or help in ways they haven't asked for. Instead, we offer container, safe, non judgmental, and human. Our stories intersect in a web of interdependence. No one's above, no one's below. We hold each other's humanity with radical respect and with radical equality, even when it's hard. Sometimes holding space means holding two truths at the same time, that someone's path is valid and deserves respect, and that your pain from their actions is real and needs tending. Think of a river flowing through your landscape. You can't stop the river. You wouldn't want to. The river's pretty. But you can place stones along the riverbank to protect the land that you've nurtured. That's not rejection. And it's not disrespectful to the river. That's care for what you've been making. It's saying, I honor your path, river, and I'm protecting the place where you are. I'm also protecting the space where I grow. You don't have to carry floodwaters. You don't have to loosen the roots. This is radical equality in practice, holding space for others while also holding space for yourself. Now, I want to try a simple practice. Think of someone you struggle to understand, someone who challenges or hurts you. Instead of focusing on what they've done, hold space for their spirit. Whisper quietly inside, your path is yours. I don't have to walk it, but I honor that you are walking it. This doesn't excuse harm. It doesn't mean tolerating abuse. It means rooting yourself in respect while maintaining your own boundaries. It means learning to hold space without shrinking, without losing yourself. Before we go, I want you to take one last breath with me. If this growth offered you insight, permission, or pause, let that settle in your spirit for a minute. And here's the blessing before you leave. May the scars remind you of the healing you've already done. May myths you carry lead you home, not away from yourself. May stories of others not drown yours out, but sit beside them like stones around a sacred fire. And may you hold space for yourself, for others, and for the world we're still learning to live in together. Thanks for walking with me today. If something stirred for you, share it in the comments. That's why we're here. To go deeper, join us in the Discord community linked below, or explore the shadow work journal I created. It's a companion on this trail. Until next time, keep walking gently, healing, reflecting, and reconnecting as you go.